Right, so we're going to build the next component, which is the pricing component. So, this is the final one, the localhost 3002. And if I reload the application, we get this transition. So first we get the one in the middle, and then we get the other two. So this is what we're going to be doing. It's going to be really, really simple. Right, so first, what I'm going to do, I'm going to close everything right here because I have a lot of files open and I don't really want that. So the first one is the app.js, which is, we are going to require import the next component. And this one is going to be the pricing. So I'm going to go to components, create a new directory called pricing. Makes sense? Pricing. Oh, message. So, and inside pricing, of course, we just need one file. I'm not going to divide this on maybe two different places. So pricing, and it's going to be index.js. Right. Okay. So this one is going to be a class-based component. I'm going to feed the boxes from the state. So React class-based component. And instead of index, this one is going to be pricing. All right. I'm going to change the name. Now I'm going to go to app.js and include this, import pricing from, and same thing, /components, then / and pricing. Very good. Since we have an index, there's no need to put index. And then of course, I will include it right here. Okay. Now I'm going to go back to our project, and of course we get nothing because we pretty much have nothing. Okay. So first, I'm going to be adding, the structure for this. The container div is going to be a class name of BCK and then black. Remember, we've already used this wrapper. Then inside, we will have a div, just like this, and with the class name of, and I'm going to use the center wrapper we used before, center and then wrapper. And this one is going to be the pricing section. All right. So on top, we get an h2 tag with the pricing, and then of course we get the the container that will contain the three boxes. So I'm going to say div, and the class name for this one is going to be pricing wrapper, pricing, and then wrapper. All right, and of course right here we get the boxes. So if I reload the application, we get pricing, and then we get boxes. So we are on the good track. Okay. So right here, what I want to do, I want to run a function, trigger a function whenever the component renders, and get from state whatever is that we need to, output to show. Okay. So first, to do this, before calling the function, we need a state where we can get the information. So I'm going to say state, open and close. And we will have several things. We'll have the price, the category, the description, and the link where this is going to go. So, okay, so first I'm going to start with pricing. So I'm going to say prices. And since we have 3 and we need to loop an array, I'm going to just loop this array, the prices array. So the first box is going to be 100. The second one is going to be 150. And the last one is going to be 250. This one is the expensive one. Then we have the positions, balcony, medium, star, whatever. So positions. You can call again this, you can call this whatever you want. So the first one is balcony. The second one, I called it medium. And the next one is going to be, the star, just in front of the star. Then we have a description. And for this one, for now, it's going to be an array. We need 3 lines of descriptions. So you can do this. You can put whatever you want inside. I'm going to copy the lorem ipsum I have right here. You can go to lorem ipsum and get the text from there. That doesn't matter. So I'm going to put comma. I'm going to go to the next line. Let me delete this one. I'm going to copy the other one. Sort of this, but it's I kind of need to do it. Again, at your home, you can skip this. And the next one is going to be the last line. Let me see. I got a mistake. Let me see why. That's why. Forgot a comma. And that's it. We have the description, comma, description. Okay. And then, of course, we have the link. So I'm going to put a comma on this and then link to. I'm going to call it link to. And again, we've got an array. So the first one is, I don't know, HTTP :/ and then, I don't know, sales / B for balcony. And then pretty much we do the same thing. You can, put whatever you want right here. Now, on this websites, most of the times when they, you create a landing page where they sell something, most of the times the link will take take the user to a different place where they can complete the purchase. That's the way it works. So I'm going to do the same thing. So this one is going to be B. This one is going to be, I don't know, this M for medium. And the other one is going to be star. Everything is in order, all right? The first one, it's balcony. The first, always the same position on the array. So for this one, it's done. So right now we have the state, so we can loop this and generate the content right here, right? So we can add it. So I'm going to create a function called show boxes. So it's going to be show and then boxes. It's going to be equal to a function, and that function will return some JSX. That's why I'm using the parentheses and not this. Whenever we use parentheses, we can return some div, and that will be rendered whenever we call the function. For example, if I put hello, and now I go right here and make a call to this, that show boxes, and the function, I'm gonna reload the application, and we're gonna get hello. All right, and there's no need to do this. If we do a bracket, just like this one will not work at all. So this is not going to work. We need to do a return and do this and put the div inside. I'm telling you this because maybe you didn't know, and you're wondering why are you using brackets or parentheses instead of brackets. So that's fine. But in this case, we can use the parentheses. All right. So now what we need to do, we need to loop at least the prices because we have always 3 positions on each array. So we can loop this and then get all the other positions with the iteration number, right? So with the index number. So for now, I'm going to delete this. I don't need it. So I'm going to say this dot state dot, and I'm going to use prices dot map. I'm going to loop over it. And on each iteration, I'm going to be passing something and running something. Again, since we want to return some JSX from this map, if we use brackets, this one will not work. If we use parentheses, it will return some JSX. So if I do div, and now right here, we're going to say, I don't know, box, makes sense? And then the iteration. So the box is going to be each item on each iteration. The first iteration, which is the first, is going to be 100, balcony, the first description, and the first link. So the first div, which is the container, will have a class name of pricing and then item, all right, pricing item. Then inside of here, we get a different wrapper, which class, it's going to be pricing, inner, and then I believe I called it wrapper, and I'm going to copy the pricing keyword. And okay, inside of here, we have pretty much 3 different things. We have the title, which is the top part actually, then the description, and then the button. Okay, so the first div, I'm going to call it div, and the class name is going to be pricing underscore title. And of course, right here, we're going to get the title, right? The next one is going to be the description. So I'm going to do div, create just a div with the class name of pricing, and of course, the description. And right here, we're going to get the description or whatever. Okay, so then div, and the next one, the class name and the pricing buttons. So pricing and then buttons. And right here, we get a button at the bottom. Okay. So in theory, if I reload this, we should be getting 3 different boxes, and we do title, description, and then button. Okay. So since we are looping something, we can get the values from the loop. The price, we can get it from the box, or we can call this .state.price, and then the number of the iteration. We can do that. So for the title, we're going to get 2 different spans. So the first span, it's the actual price. So I'm going to do $sign or currency sign. And I could use box, or I could use this.state.price. I'm going to use this.state.prices. And then, of course, the position of the iteration. And it's going to be, of course, 0, 1, and 2. So we get 1, 100, and 200. So that is good. So next one is going to be the next span, which is the position. So we do the same thing. This.state, that positions, and again the iteration number. The next one is going to be the description. So this that state that this desk, I believe they call it desk, and then the iteration number. All right. All right, so that is good. So next one is going to be the button. If you remember, we have a component, a reusable component. So what we can do, we can include the component at the top and make use of it. So it's going to be import my button from /utils. That's why we have a utils, and then my button. All right. So now I'm going to go at the bottom, and instead of this, I'm going to be passing the button, right? So, okay. Let me make it right. My button. And inside of my button, I could make this, self-closing, right? So if you remember, we need to pass some configurations. So first, it's a text we need to add. In this case, I'm going to say, I don't know, purchase, something simple. The next one is going to be the background color, so BCK. And the property for this, I don't know, the same yellow, FA800. The next one is going to be the color of the text, which in this case, it's going to be white because it makes sense. And the next one, I don't remember the name. I believe it was called link. Yes, link. All right. So I'm going to go back, and the link is going to be, and if you remember, we have the link right here. So the property for this is going to be this, that state that link, or actually link to, and then of course the iteration. All right. All right, so we get it. So if I open this, sales, B, and the next one is going to be, I believe, M. And okay, that works. Everything works. So now the thing is that if we take a look at the original, let me just reload the application. We have a transition, and first, the one that it's appearing at first, it's the middle one. It's going to be this one. So we cannot add a transition in order. What we need to do is to do something else. So how can we do this? How can we make this for the second one appear first and then the other ones? All right. If you want to do it on your own, you can do it. No problem. I'm going to show you now. I'm going to use a state. So I'm going to store inside of the state a delay. Right? Because it makes sense. So, okay, so I'm going to say delay. So the first iteration on the delay is going to be 500. So it's the first element before it appears is going to wait a half second. Now the middle one needs to appear first. So this one, it's 0. It's just going to show right away. And the third one is going to show with the first one. Okay. So now we need to use that transition from React Reveal. So I'm going to go right here, import zoom from, and then of course React Reveal / and then the name of what we are bringing right here, which is zoom. All right. So now what do we need to do? We need to wrap this component, and instead of returning just a div, we need to return a zoom component. Okay. I'm going to copy, I'm going to paste it, and there we go. So now this zoom needs some configuration. First, we will need a key. Remember that in React, whenever we loop something, we need to add a key. So key, open and close. And the key could be the iteration number. And then of course we need to add the delay. So delay, open and close, and it's this, that state, that delay, and the iteration number. Right, so let me reload the application, and we get it. Let me try again. Okay, so that's it. This is done. So let's move forward to the next component, which is going to be really simple. It's going to be the, I believe it's going to be the location one. So we're going to do that right now.